What's up, people? It's me, Crimson, and this is another episode of Road to Commander. And due to the fact that I lost the original video to this, I had to re-commentate over it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Instead of like just rambling on, I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm gonna tell you a story about my first summer job. Alright, so my first summer job was working at a daycare center in a local neighborhood. It was a school that serviced daycare, you know, for kids and stuff like that. It was about I think the youngest was about 5, and they had like different age groups. They had 5 to 6, 7 to 8, 9 to 10, and 11 to 12. Right. So, my first summer job, I was in charge of the kids that was 7 to 8 years old, and it was a nice little summer job. I really enjoyed it, man. It was like one of the hottest summers. No, the year after that was one of the hottest summers, but it was a real hot summer. We wore these stupid like ugly green shirts with smiley faces on it, and it was just all around bad. And I should have known, like, despite the fact that, you know, I was given a camper shirt, I consider myself a little like special in the sense that, you know, I was above the rest or something like that, you know. And you know what? I think I'm going to tell another story after this one, because I got a couple more matches after this. Spoiler, but yeah, I was in charge of the kids 7 to 8 years old, and we went on a whole bunch of trips. It was a really, like I said, it was a really fun summer. Like, we went to the museum. We went to Coastside, which is this science museum up in Columbus, Ohio. I think it's Columbus, Ohio. I don't remember, but it was real fun. We went to the movies. We went to the zoo, and you know, it was a lot of fun. You know, and the kids were really cool. You know, I really do connect with the kids a lot. That's probably why I'm working at Children's Hospital right now. But funny story. So every day we went to the pool. Like yeah, pretty much every other day we went to the pool that was across the field from the school. And it was just this big field. It was a soccer field. It had like a soccer field and 2 baseball fields on the end. So it was like a baseball field close to the school, a baseball field close to the swimming pool, and then in between that was a soccer field, like in between and like a little bit over was a soccer field. And then they had like a play set over there with a sandbox and swing set, and it was a lot of stuff going on over there. I wish I could like get a picture of it, but since that summer, they kind of rebuilt the school. It's not the same school anymore. They rebuilt the school, and here goes a Predator missile fail. I got lost and didn't know where to go. Yeah, they rebuilt the school. They rebuilt the swimming pool, and I think they got rid of the baseball and soccer fields and stuff like that. Man, that field like held a lot of memories for me. I played baseball on that field, played soccer on that field. Went to championships, and pretty much that whole neighborhood was just important to me. But on to the story. I was in charge of the 7 to 8-year-old kids, and we went to the pool every other day, and it was a lot of fun. The thing is that the boys that I had to watch while in the swimming pool had this thing of running around naked. It was not right, and they always just play around and you know, take forever to get dressed because they didn't want to leave the pool, and they just run around the whole like locker room, just like it's like just naked, just everything just hanging out and just running around and all that good shit. And it took forever to like get them dressed and get them, you know, back to school, back to the daycare or school, so that way they can get picked up by their parents and I could go home. But me and the staff developed a system of just blocking the door, so that way if one of the kids decided to just like up and run, you know, they couldn't really get out, you know. So this one particular day was kind of weird. Man, I got a lot. I probably could fit 2 stories. You know, this one particular day, it was just like any normal day, you know. Had fun at the daycare, you know, went, did activities, and then went over to the pool to have some fun there. And I didn't get to swim, of course, you know, because I had to stay up and watch the kids run and play and make sure, you know, everybody was safe. And I usually hung around with all my people's friends, you know, around that time too. So after the day was done, you know, after the pool time was over and stuff like that, we got the kids into the locker room and was getting them dressed. And these boys, like I said, these boys always had this thing of just running around naked and not, you know, wanting to get dressed, right? Which is kind of weird. So they just ran around and like, oh, look at me, da 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 da. I hope I'm gonna get outside, da 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 da. And the thing, and it was, you know, just a whole bunch of craziness. Get your clothes on, get your underwear on, stop messing around, just get dressed and all that good shit. And one of the boys, 2 of the guys started fighting. The 2 guys were having trouble with one another, and you know, started fighting in the locker room, which we had to break up. So that kind of left the door wide. That left the person that was guarding the door to come in to break up the fight. They took this opportunity, the little naked boys, to make a break for it and run outside the locker room. Now, when you run out, it's like there's no door. It's like it's a locker room, and it's like it's an outdoor pool. Okay, it's an outdoor pool, and when you come out, and you like 5 feet away from the pool, and then everybody's around there because the pool is like on like the locker rooms. The girls and boys locker rooms are like on each side of this concession stand. So while everybody's getting dressed, usually kids who got dressed real quick take this last opportunity to grab a snack before heading back to the school. And these boys, like two boys, ran out, and they ran out and had to go past the concession stand to get out of the pool area and to get to the field. And it was crazy because all the little girls seen it, all the adults seen it, my boss seen it, other staff members seen it, parents saw it. It was crazy. So me and another guy had to chase these boys like across the damn field, across the baseball field, across the soccer field, you know, through the play area on the field. And these kids are like super fast. They had no shoes on. They had nothing on. Like, I think one kid, all he had on was a necklace, like his keys, like hanging around his neck. That's all he had. And you know, as I'm telling this story, it does sound kind of pedophile-ish to be chasing little boys across the open field. Like, it's open, wide open. And here goes another thing too. Some of the parents, this is unusual, but one of the parents who usually come pick up the kids had came early because of some sort of emergency and saw this. So there's me, another staff member, and 2 boys running around the field butt naked. And these kids are quick. All right, these kids are like super fast, and you know we chased them around for a good 5 minutes, and we had to practically like tackle them down. We had towels, right? So we had to run with towels and then like tackle them, cover them up, and then carry them back to the play area. And like I said before, one of the parents saw this, and it was just extremely bad because the parent saw this, told the other parents who came to pick up their kids, and there was this huge mess. And I think because of this, it was one of the reasons why my next when I came back the next year, I was placed in a different department and all that good shit. But you know what? I think I got time to tell this story. Two stories for you. Right. So after that incident, we finished out the summer, you know, went back to school, and then the next summer I applied for the daycare job, because the daycare job, despite all the kids running around fucking naked and shit, it was a pretty fun job. I got put on a census staff that summer. Now, for those of you who don't know what census is, the census is like going around door to door in your neighborhood and asking people how many people live in their household. You know, just it's basically like a head count for the neighborhood. You know, how many people live in this house, how many people live on the street, how many people live in this block. That was one of the hottest summers ever, and there's a couple stories here, but I want to focus on this issue that I had with my boss. Now, I wanted to go back to the daycare because the daycare was extremely fun, right? You know, we got to go on trips. She wasn't out in the hot sun all day, walking around. But the thing was, with walking around, you had a bit of freedom. You know, you could go home. Like, I couldn't go home, but friends who lived in the neighborhood could go home and play on their, I think it was Sega Genesis at the time. But yeah, it was super hot. We wore these khakis and these dark green clothing. I don't know why, but yeah, it was super hot, and we went door to door, asking people, you know, who lives in this place and whatnot. And I really wanted to go back to the daycare, and I went on multiple times to try to ask to get transferred, because I had friends in the daycare that wanted to switch jobs with me, because they had, you know, they could go home and do whatever and say, oh, this person wasn't here, this person wasn't here, blah 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 blah. Right. So while on one of these days, I was having a conversation with a group of friends and saying that how much I wanted to go back to the daycare. And I mentioned that I hated the kids that ran around naked, you know, because it was annoying. Right? Basically the same story I just told before. The next day, right, we had a meeting, and we had a big, huge staff meeting, right, with everybody, you know, who was there, like people who worked at the daycare, people who worked at census, people who work exclusively at the pool. We had like a whole big staff meeting type thing, right? And my boss mentioned that, you know, there was some mentioned that, you know, some people wanted to switch jobs, and you know, switch jobs and switch places, and we won't, you know, and something along the lines of we're not switching jobs, and not allowing people to switch jobs. And they asked if anybody had any questions about that. And of course I had questions. I'm like, why not? You know, why aren't we allowed to switch jobs with people if, like, one person is willing to switch jobs with another person? And my boss made it her point to kind of point me out and saying that, well, in your case, Crimson, the mayor, who is like our, like, we have a boss, and then like the mayor's like our boss. the mayor said that she overheard you saying that you hated kids, and and of course I'm like, no, I never said that I hated kids. Well, the mayor said that you did, and because of that, that's why we're not letting you transfer jobs. I'm like, well, that's crap, because I never said that. And everybody was like looking at me because, you know, I'm arguing with the boss, which is like a huge bit no. I'm gonna try to hurry this up. It was a huge bit no. So my boss was like, well, you know, you're saying that you didn't say this, so I'm assuming you're saying that that the mayor is a liar. And at that moment, I was extremely pissed because somebody's putting words in my mouth saying that I hated kids. Like, I hate kids in general. I said I hated the kids that ran around naked, but, you know, it was still fun. So me being, you know, the rebel that I was back then, I said, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. The mayor is a liar, and I never said that. Unbeknownst to me at the time, one of my coworkers is the grandson of the mayor, and he really got pissed. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, why are you, hey man, that's my grandma. Don't say that about my grandma. I'm like, look man, your grandma is a mayor. Politics lie. And she's lying on me about what I said. I never said I hated kids. Period. End of story. So this was huge because I'm over here saying flat out that the mayor of a town, my boss, is a big fat liar. You know, and, you know, putting words in my mouth, you know, all that good shit. So, like, there was like this huge thing fight going on, you know. I'm saying that the mayor's lying, you know, and they was on the verge of firing me, right? Like, straight out firing me, like, cause the mayor came in, you know, and hurt me, and I told the mayor to her face that she is a liar. You know, me showing off the big boss, you know. So, they sent me home for the day. I went home and told my mom. I'm about 13, 14 years old around that time. Yeah, that sounds about right. 13, 14. Yeah, I went home and told my mom. Now, my family is kind of a big deal in over in my neighborhood, and like over in my neighborhood, my family was kind of like a big deal because they were into politics and stuff like that themselves. And a lot of my family lived in Woodline, which gave the mayor a lot of pull to become mayor, because, you know, you had to vote a mayor in, right? So so the mayor had a conversation with members of my family that had like the right pull, right? And I basically got my job back. Or I didn't get technically fired, so to say. But that was my last summer working there. You know, after that huge bit stink, you know, I'm like, you know, I was like, there's no way in hell that I'm going to get hired back here, especially calling the mayor a liar to her face and rubbing a lot of people, you know, in that neighborhood the wrong way, especially politicians. So, yeah, that was my last summer there, and that was my summer job story. A lot of fun, but I also have another story to do with the census job. You know, let's just say there's a lot of weird and interesting people in that neighborhood. Well, that's my 3 gameplays. Almost to level 80. Till then, peace.